Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to replace the lower A-arm bushings and the lower ball joint. In our last video, linked up in the corner, you'll see where we replace the upper bushings and the upper ball joint. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this spindle nut off, which is a 36 metric. And then I have a 3/8 Allen that I'll take the calipers off with. And then the rotor will come off after that. Alright, so the tie rod end, it's an 18 metric. And the lower ball joint is going to be a 27 metric. So I'll go ahead and get this one out. And then what I'll do is I'll take a hammer, hit the side. I can't find my pickle fork. So I'm going to take the side and hopefully it pops loose. If not, I am replacing these tie rod ends in another video. So you just may have to bang them out. Let's see if I can make it pop. Oops. Let's try this. There we go.
Hey!
Okay, thank you. Let's get this last one out. Alright, so I got the tie rod end off. You can see where I'm replacing it. And I've got the lower bolt, and this is already loose, so now I'm going to go ahead and get the spindle off, kind of like that. Alright, so dinner is ready, so I'm going to go in, we're going to go inside and eat dinner. And be back out later to take the CV joint, the shock, and the sway bar linkage. We've got the bolt and washer off for the shock. I'm getting ready to take the bolts off for the nuts off for the A-arm. And I don't have a big enough metric, so a 15/16 will fit on there, and that's what I'm going to use to take them off. Alright, so we've got the shock out, we've got the sway bar linkage out. I've got the nuts and washers off of the bushing bolts. I'm going to go and lower this down because right now I have it on a jack, and I'll let it down slowly, and then all the pressure should be taken off of it. You do want to be careful because there is a lot of pressure on this thing when it's in the up position. So I'm going to let it down slowly. Okay. And we got the CV joint out of the way too. Alright. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bolts out of the way, and then I'll show you how I get the A-arm out. Alright, so it's completely loose. Completely loose, although everything's out. The only thing that's holding it on is the torsion bar. And the way I get that out is I slide it off. So you just kind of have to pull it out of its socket and maybe hit it a couple times to get it out. You get the idea. And just keep on moving it around until it comes out. But it just slides right off. Alright, so this one's been a little bit more difficult, but I just about got it. A lot more difficult than the other side. So as you can see, the big old, I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that over here? Right where I'm pointing. There's a big old like socket that sits, or yeah, you'll see here. There we go. So you can see where it fits in there. It's a 8-sided octagon. It fits in that hole there. Alright, so it's out. Next step is to replace the bushings in the ball joint. Okay, we're at the press. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the lower ball joint. Not much to it. It may take a little bit of force. I'll bring you back when we're done. Okay, so I got the lower ball joint out. It was a struggle. I had to use some heat to get it out. I'm going to go ahead and take the bushings out now, and the way I do that is I push out the metal, the center, then I push out the rubber, then I get the outer part out. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to set up on the press here and push out the center sleeve. Okay, so we've got the new bushings in and the new lower ball joint. Now, I know we had a struggle getting it off. We're probably going to have a struggle getting it back on. So we're going to go ahead and put it back on the torsion bar and that there. Slide it in place and start bolting everything together. Alright, so I'm getting ready to put this thing on. Yeah, just let's lift in place. And I pull the bar out and wiggle it in. Well, I wish it came apart that easy. Alright. Oh crap. When you do this, make sure, unless you're going to replace in your tie rod, that it sticks out here. So, I guess that would be called a nugget. Well, we're replacing them next, so I won't worry about that. But the tie rod is supposed to come out through here. Alright. Okay, now it's just a matter of getting the bolts and putting them back in together. Alright, so I've got the bushing bolts in. I'm going to go and put the CV joint in next. I did inspect it, it looks pretty good. And I'm not going to tighten these bushing bolts down until I get the car resting back down on the ground so it doesn't bind up. Alright, so I've got the CV joint snugged down. I've got the bolt in for the shock. The next thing is to get the spindle on. So I need to line up with the splines here and the upper and lower ball joint. Oops, yeah, the boot's there. Thought I forgot my boot, but it's there. Alright, just like that. Now it's in place. Now it's time to start tightening things up. Alright, so I've got it all back together. The spindle nut is torqued down to 165. The calipers are torqued down to 38. The CV joints are torqued down to 58. This one here, this upper ball joint is tough. I don't know how you're going to torque it down with the CV joint in the way, but it's supposed to be torqued down to 74, so I did my best guesstimate. The bottom one's torqued down to 94. Let's see what else. Okay, the A-frame bolts to the A-arm bolts to frame, I haven't torqued those down. The top are supposed to be torqued down to 140 and the bottom 129. And this is all the information I have found on the internet. So I'm hoping it's all correct. And I won't torque those down until I get the front tire back on and get it back resting on the ground. That's when I'll torque those up. Okay. In my next video, I'll be doing tie rod ends. And so you'll be able to check that out in that corner there. I believe it's that corner. You see my finger?
There, right there.
Okay, in that corner there. Okay, so all the parts I used are Moog, and I'll have them listed in a description below. Got them all from Amazon, so there'll be an affiliate link. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. And thanks for watching.